Right guys, okay, so this is what we're making in this video. A falling ball hits some cubes and then the cubes fall down. We're not using a HDRI here, we're doing our own lighting. Right, okay, so I've got a default scene. So let's go ahead, A, X, let's delete everything, okay? Let's add a plane. Let's scale it. Okay, so I want it maybe 80 meters by maybe 40 meters. Okay, maybe that's a bit big, but we'll see how it goes. Let's add a material. So use materials, use nodes. Let's give it any simple color. Okay, and let's switch to material preview. Let's also add our rigid body physics. This is going to be passive and it's going to be a mesh. Let's change this to 500. Okay, the number of frames, and let's pinch so that we can see more clearly. Now we press play, nothing happens. Of course, nothing happens. Yeah. Let's add a cube. Let's change it to just 1 meter. Okay. Now it's halfway between our floor, so let's fix that. Let's grab it, move it up on the x-axis, move it up, press play, nothing happens, okay? We don't want it up here because if it's when we've done that, we can add our rigid body active. This is a box, and let's make it a bit lighter, okay, 0.5 kilo. We don't want it in the air because we don't want it to bounce around. Okay, so let's get it not under the floor because then it will really bounce around. Let's get it as close to the floor as we can. There we go. Then we press play and nothing happens. Good. So far so good. Now, let's grab that cube, let's move it on the x-axis, and let's move it approximately somewhere there. Now, with it selected, Command D, G to grab, Z to move it, and 1 to move it up. Then we can click off. With it still selected orange, now Shift R to repeat. Okay, and now I've got 20 cubes, a stack of 20 cubes. I can press play, nothing happens. Okay, fine. Let's add a cube. Grab this, move this along the x-axis. Let's change this 5 meters by 2 meters by 0.3 meters. Okay, and this is what our ball is going to fall along. Let's go to a side view. And let's grab it. Let's grab it, move it up, and let's rotate it a nice amount. When we've done that, with it still selected, this is going to be a rigid body. It's going to be passive. Okay. Now let's go ahead and add a ball. Let's grab this, move it along the x-axis. Let's grab it again, move it along the z-axis. Let's grab it again and move it along the x-axis. This is a rigid body, this is active, this is a sphere. Let's add a material to this, any sort of material. Now we press play. Something like that happens. And that's because the ball is too light. Yeah? These are 0.5 kilo each, but the ball is only 1 kilo. So let's go ahead, grab it, scale it, make it bigger. Let's right click and shade smooth, okay, just to make it a bit more beautiful. Okay, still not heavy enough, and the ball will fall off. Okay, so with the ball selected, let's go to the physics of the ball. Let's make it 25 kilos. See what that does. Okay, now, good. Now it crashes into the balls. Good. Right, okay, so when we're happy with that, we can go ahead and make a lot more towers. Yeah, so over here, let's select our cubes. Okay, so let's go ahead and select all of the cubes, but being careful not to select this cube. Okay, so this cube is cube. Actually, I'm going to rename this. Should be able to rename it just by clicking on it. Oh, here we go. So this is our platform, okay? Right, so now I've got all of these cubes. Now I'm going to press Shift D, but if I press it here, nothing happens. Okay, so my cursor needs to be over here in this design space. Okay, so anywhere over here, Shift D. You'll see that it turns white. When it's still turned white, I'm going to grab it, G to grab, X, and I'm going to move it along a little bit. And then I'm going to click to put it down. Now it's still selected, it's selected orange. Now what I can do is I can do Shift R. Yeah, and I get loads of towers. Very good, nice and easy. Yeah, they've all got the same material, so whatever material we selected, they've all got that material. Now, let's press play, see what happens. Hopefully, there's enough. Okay, so it doesn't knock over all of our towers. Okay, so how do we fix that? Let's grab this, let's move that up. Okay, let's get a bit more velocity. Okay, let's start banging through these. Okay, good, but still not great. Let's change the weight. Yeah? Let's change the weight up to 50 kilos. Okay, now, this is interesting. Okay, so our animation has stopped at frame 250. That's because this was originally 250, yeah? Now it's 500. We see we've got this kind of orangey yellow bar. So that's our bake. Yeah, that's the kind of pre-render that the computer has done, which stops at 250. Now we don't want it to stop at 250, we want it to keep going. So we need to go over here to our scene properties. In our rigid body world, we need to go down to cache. And here, simulation starts at 1, ends at 250. We don't want it to end at 250. We want it to end at about 500. So, let's bake that again. And now we see we've got that orange bar that goes all the way across the bottom. Now when we press play, the animation will continue, and hopefully enough of these fall down. Yeah. Right, still not all of them. What we can do here, which is quite nice, is we can increase the speed. Yeah, so increase the speed to 2. Now, after you've increased the speed, you need to delete the bake and rebake. That's important, yeah? So any time you change the speed, you need to delete the bake and rebake. Now it should run at double the speed. Okay, I'm not going to play around with this too much. You can play around and make sure that it knocks over all of your towers. Yeah, I'm not very interested in that. Let's move on to the next bit. We need to add a light. I want an area light, and I'm going to grab this and I'm going to move this up. My light is going to be a rectangle. It's going to be 1 megawatt in strength, and it's going to be a kind of reddish colour. Yeah? I want to go above so I can see. It's going to be 50 by what? By 10. Let's try that for now. Okay, so let's go into our render preview. Okay, looks okay. But we have a lot of shadow here, yeah, which I don't like. So let's go ahead and fix that. So let's go back to our overhead view. Let's Shift D to duplicate it, grab it, move it on our y-axis, and then let's go to a side view and let's angle it towards our towers. Now if we have a look, we've got a lot more illumination. Yeah, that's starting to look quite good. What we can do, and what you could do, I'm not going to do it, but if you wanted another platform here with another ball here, so that they come at from different angles, so there's a ball rolling this way and a ball rolling this way, you could do that. Yeah, there's lots of opportunity for you here for you to practice. Right, so we've got 2 lights. I'm going to have a third. I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to move it down, and I'm going to illuminate it a little bit more. Yeah? We can have different colours, and you might want to play about with different colours and see what effect that has on it. Okay, fine. Yeah, quite happy with that. Now let's have a camera, and we're almost done. Add a camera, let's grab it, move it back on the y-axis. Let's have a look through our camera. Okay, so we need to move up. Where's our camera? Okay. Let me grab this, let me move this along here. And now what we can do, with our camera selected, we can go to add constraint. And we can track to, and we're going to track to, SPH, we're going to track to the sphere. Yeah? And now, when we look through the camera follows the ball. And that's okay, I'm quite happy with that. It would be nice if it rolled, if it hit down, if it knocked over all of the towers. Let me see if I can do anything easily with that. If I make it heavier, is that going to do anything? I might have to delete my bake and rebake it. Okay, so it's a heavier ball now, so it's really powering through them. Yes, okay. Okay, there we go. That's nice. Yeah. Let's look at it through the camera. Good. Yep, looks good. Good. Now, I don't like this blackness behind. So what I want to do, I'm going to go into edit mode. I'm going to select my edge. Okay, so edge select, this one. I want to extrude, so E to extrude. And I want to extrude it on the Z axis. So there we go, I want to bring that up like that. So now we've got a bit of a wall behind us. Yeah, and that will help with our lighting as well. Okay, that looks quite good. Almost done. The camera here, and my camera properties. Do I need to go into select my camera. Oh, I need to go out of edit mode into object mode. That's my mistake. Okay, select the camera. And then here, if we can change, let's go into our camera view. Change this. Change it to zoom in. Is this going to be better? Or we can zoom out. Yeah. Yeah, there we go, something like that. A focal length of 35 millimeters, but you can have whatever you want, guys. Yeah, this is your animation. Good. When we've done that, we can go into our, is this output? Output properties. Yeah. Change the location to our MOV files. Change it from PNG to MPEG. To FFmpeg. Change the encoding to QuickTime. If you've added audio, I mean I haven't, but if you want to, you can. Yeah. Then you need to change this to MP3. Yeah? And then you are free to go render animation. Once it has rendered, don't forget to add it to your iMovie. Yeah. And then you can press on with the next lesson. Right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you in the next tutorial.